Welcome home, where we provide information, inspiration, and motivator after motivator after motivator here on America's Next. I have Dan Klein here with me today. How you doing, Dan?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to have you here today, and I want to say hi to everybody who's tuned in, whether you be on Roku TV, Apple TV, Android TV, Facebook, YouTube, or Amazon Fire. I know you're out there, and I appreciate you. This is going to be a fun episode. Feel free to drop comments. It's always an A&M thing for you to provide reactions, make comments in the chat, and be a part of this episode with us. So without further ado, Dan, where are you from?
I am from New York, upstate New York.
Okay. What part of New York are you from?
Albany area.
Okay. All right. What was it like for you growing up in Albany?
Well, it's more like the Schenectady County, so it's kind of like next to Albany. But I mean, I was originally born in Maryland, and so when I was 2 or 3 years old, my dad got a job somewhere up here, and I moved up here. I didn't really have much experience down in Maryland, so I think growing up here was pretty nice. The winters were like dark and cold, but other than that, overall it's been pretty nice. I'm glad to grow up in a neighborhood like this.
So the winters were brutal up there in Albany, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Now, for those people who may have never been to Albany, I want you to paint that picture for me of what it was like for you growing up there. What were the traditions? What were the annual events that you looked for? What was going on?
I mean, I haven't really like paid attention to really know like what's the like annual what you call it traditions there.
Okay.
But I think the school that I grew up in, they have a day where they can like go to a park where they can like celebrate their history, and kids can like play on the playground or in the field and whatnot, and it was just like a big like festival kind of thing. So,
okay, all right. Do you guys ice skate up there?
I can, for the most part, yeah.
All right. Were you an ice skater? Do you like to ice skate?
No, I was not an ice skater.
Okay, all right. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have 2 older brothers.
Now, what was your relationship like with them when you were young?
Well, my oldest brother was like 7 years older than me, so when he graduated high school, I graduated elementary school, and so like he moved on to college, and I moved on to middle school. So, I mean, my relationship with him was pretty smooth for the most part. My relationship with my other brother, because he's like 2 years older than me, and we're like closer to age. We had a lot of like arguments and fights and whatnot, but like, right now we're pretty cool, and I'm so cool with my other older brother.
Did you guys do a lot of wrestling, a lot of competing? Your brother, who's close in age to you?
Yeah, we roughhouse a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. And I think the first time I started stacking was when like he was kind of competing with me a little bit, but he I think like 2 years after he kind of stopped it, but I like kept going because it was something that I was very passionate about.
Right. Okay. Dan Klein has become a sports stacker, and if you don't know what sports stacking is, you're going to learn about it today. You're going to discover the sport of sports stacking today, and to me, it's very exciting. It gets you on the edge of your seat, and it's a lot of adrenaline that goes into it. We're going to talk a lot more about that in the second half of the show, so you guys definitely stay tuned because we're going to talk about the world of sports stacking that some of you may not be aware of. Now, where did you start sports stacking when you were in elementary school, or when did you start?
I started sports stacking when I was in 5th grade, and so this was around Christmas 2006. I was 11 years old, and I didn't really know what I want at the time, and so I decided to look on the TV because, like in kids channels, they would like advertise like toy stuff, and so they were like crazily advertising speed stacks around this time. And so I saw a few commercials of it. And I'm like, I think that's something that I really like want to try out. And so I got the set for Christmas. It came in a box, and inside that box were the cups, the original cups, the mat, the timer, and a DVD that taught you how to stack. And so
Okay.
when I first watched the DVD, I was like pretty confused, and my mom and my brother were like kind of going over it with me, and I was like, oh, I was like kind of getting it. And so ever since then, like I just started like kind of teaching myself and practicing and practicing over and over again. And I think a few months later, when I was like, when my cycle record was like around 9 seconds, I decided to like tape myself and put myself on YouTube, and um, the rest is history from there. I went to tournaments. I met some online friends. I've even met like people that I've met online. I met them at tournaments, and we've been like great friends ever since.
Wow. So elementary school, was it overtaking by your interest in sports stacking, or were you able to focus on academics while you were in elementary school?
Yes, I was most definitely able to like focus on academics for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were your favorite subjects?
Um, I would say my favorite subjects would have to be like math and science, because I thought that those were the easiest to me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, specifically, what was so easy for you in math and science, for all those young people out there or adults who they didn't have such a good time, such a fun time in math and science? What did you find easy? Talk about it.
I'm not exactly sure. I think it was more so. It was much more like digestible to me, and I think it added more like clarification. I think with science, it was just more like interesting to me to kind of like learn more about like molecules and how like things build up together. If that makes any sense, I'm not exactly a
Hmm.
big science person, but I did take a big interest in it. I was I passed. Um, I easily passed math and science the most. So
Would you say that you were born with a high IQ?
um, I'm not exactly too sure about that. I would say it's my IQ is probably like average for the most
Okay.
part. You know.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some hearts and likes in the building. I'm going to show a video of what Dan Klein does. And I know it's early in the show, but I want you guys to get a glimpse. This is a short clip, and I'll show some more later on in the show. But for right now, you guys just hold tight. I'm going to show you part of what makes Dan so awesome. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what's going on. Check this out. Are you guys seeing this?
New record. Oh my gosh! I did not expect that. What?
So now this is on
Oh
TikTok.
my
I'm gonna play this
gosh!
again. He did that in 16 seconds. Well, the video is 16 seconds. Watch this.
New
Wow,
record. Oh my gosh! I did not expect that. What?
that's incredible.
Oh my
Is it
gosh!
just me, or is that
Yes.
incredible? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some hearts and likes in the building for Dan Klein right now. This man is not playing any games. Okay, he doesn't. He's not the man of a million words, but his talent is phenomenal. If you ask me, so we got more. We got more where that comes from. Ani King Riley, she says, "Wow, that's fire." And Cordell Davis is in the building. He says, "I seen you before. That was crazy." You know. So you got fans in the building tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna find some more of your videos to show people. If you guys haven't already, tag somebody, text somebody, get somebody else into the building. I want to see so many more children, young people, adolescents get involved in sports stacking. Talk to me about any type of therapy that you get from stacking. Does it provide any sort of therapy for you?
In a way, it does. Like when I'm doing really, really well, it kind of gives me a rush. It also it's able to like get things off my mind easier. It also helps improve hand-eye coordination and ambidexterity, and it improves
Yeah.
your other skills such as like math and basketball. And so sometimes there is like some some I guess like negatives, for a lack of a better word, for like for me at least. Usually when I'm not doing as well, like sometimes I might get angry, I might break a cup, I might throw something, and that's when I have to like really calm down and simmer down and like take a break. And so, stacking overall absolutely has its benefits, but sometimes when you're not in the best mood, at least for me, it can it can go to a downward spiral.
Right. Okay. If somebody's washing dishes in the kitchen and they're washing cups, do you get anxiety just watching somebody, fumble cups and throw them from one sink to the next and all that without stacking them? Stack those cups. Hashtag stack those cups.
Maybe if they're not putting the dishes away fast enough.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to have fun here on America's Next Motivator. So we're gonna start the cup stacking challenge right here. If you want to stack some cups, any as best as you can, in resemblance of what Dan does, let's start a cup stacking challenge. You do it, tag us in the video, and I'll play your cup stacking challenge on America's Next Motivator. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so we have a lot of young people in the foster care system, a lot of adolescents who they haven't found their thing yet. Everybody wants to be active. Everybody wants, well, I'm not gonna say everybody. Most people want to be active. They want to express their themselves in one way or another. Everybody hasn't found it though. And I wonder if for some people that might be sports stacking. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, hey, you never know. Like once you try it out, you might actually find out that it's your thing and you might really like it. Like for me, like I was very passionate about it when I was first starting out, and I just kept on practicing. And the more that I practiced, the better I got. And so, you never know. Like once you try something out, you might find out that you might like it and it might be your thing. So why not try it out?
That's right. So what was middle school like for you?
It was like hell. I'm going to be very honest. It was like hell.
Okay.
I think I say that because, well, 7th and 8th grade specifically, 6th grade was actually pretty decent for the most part. 7th and 8th, especially 7th, was like pure hell to me. Almost every day I was like getting bullied. I was, getting made fun of, because, I was one of the more shy kids. I didn't really like talk as much. And so stacking was a light for me to just let that all go. And there were, some days where I like didn't stack at all, but like I think in 8th grade, I finally got my mojo back, and I was getting like records here and there, and I was getting like more subscribers on YouTube, and even then there are people in the stacking community like, wow, you're actually like posting more again. And so that transit into high school where I got a call around February 2011, and I was in 9th grade. They asked me to be on Team USA because they saw a few of my videos and they were like, wow, you're really, really good. We can pay for your trip to Dallas to the 2011 World Sports Stacking Championships. And
wow. Hold on. Let's slow this down. Now, you dealt with the adversity of being sort of on the fringes, on the margins of the social, structure in your middle school, and you might be thinking, gosh, I've never been able to, just feel like I found my tribe, like I found, my people, I found my groove. And then you get to high school and you get a call from Team USA.
From the World Sports Stacking Association, they want me to be on Team USA.
The World Sports, can you say that again?
The World Sports Stacking Association.
Okay, World Sports Stacking Association. World Sports Stacking Association. Okay. And so what was that like when you got that call?
I was very ecstatic. I was like, wow, I can finally, be with the cool kids.
Yeah,
Something like
that's right.
that.
That's right. Now, what were your conversations like with your parents around stacking and the experience that you were having with it?
Um, they were like pleasantly surprised. My brothers growing up, they've always been interested in sports, and for me, I was never really that interested in sports. And sports stacking was like the very first sport that I actually participated in, and so like they were yeah they were very happy with me that I finally found a hobby or a sport that I can really like latch myself onto and find really like find my outlet.
Yeah. I think this is a moment where you relate to so many thousands of people across the country who are looking for their thing. They're looking for that activity, that expression that they can get into to really feel whole or to feel that much more involved, in the driver's seat of their own life. It sounds like sports stacking help you to break through to greatness in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So now in high school, were you still into math and science? Was that your thing for the most part, or did you begin to expand into other things socially?
I would say if I can really remember correctly, so in high school, so specifically in 11th and 12th grade, because it was required for 11th and 12th graders, I went to VOTEC, which is a program for I wouldn't say special needs kids, but like mainly like kids, and they're all from like different backgrounds, whether it be like jocks, nerds, and
Hmm.
popular kids, regular kids, cheerleaders, like people that have like learning disabilities. They'll go to this center um, where they get to choose their uh, what you call it, their class, for lack of a better word. Mine was gaming, multimedia, and web design, where we would talk about like gaming design and designing like websites and whatnot, and
Hmm.
uh, pretty much talk about like coding and uh, building up video games and whatnot. So,
Were you ever able to get into that a little bit more? What are your thoughts on coding today? I see a lot of kids on Roblox and other similar sites and games. What do you think about coding today?
um, so I mean, I never really got that aspect into it. Like, I never got into the coding aspect. I think it was more about like the art aspect, like maybe like designing websites and whatnot, or like just like designing in general. I think maybe
Okay.
with like logos. We actually worked on Photoshop, so that was pretty fun.
Right. Yes. Learning Photoshop in high school is a big opportunity that really could lead to a really good skill set. Adobe is something that is almost like Microsoft Word the whole Microsoft suite in a sense that content creation is a big deal these days. And if you know how to operate Adobe, then you're a commodity, definitely a commodity.
Oh
So
yeah.
now, yeah. So now, as you completed high school, did you go to camp? Did you get involved in any programs that were inspirational to you?
Um, Actually, no. Right after high school, I went right to college, community college, and I took like 5 classes there, but then I had to like take two, um, and or at least like three, and one of them being a uh, online class because I had to like find a job around this time, and so I was just like, working and saving up money for my next college semester. So,
Talk to me about the adaptation for you from high school to college. What was that like? How did your world change when you went to college versus your experience in high school?
well, I just remember at the last day in high school, just like walking out of that building, like, wow, these are like my last steps there. I'm really like taking some big steps for my future. I finally get to go to college. Have a little bit more freedom. You know,
That's right.
like that was like the feeling that I had. I was like, wow, just I can't believe it's all over. I remember like very specifically that 4 years ago, um, I was walking into the gymnasium, and I didn't really know much about this place. And now I'm like so familiar with it to the point where it's like, I know where everything is and whatnot. And
Yep.
it's I don't know, it's just like a really like crazy experience to like, just walk out of there and really think like, hey, I might not even see these people again either.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say? What do you say to young people out there who they may have been kind of like you in middle school and high school, kind of on the margins. Maybe they haven't found their thing, and they're looking up to you tonight. What do you say to young people who are in the system?
I would say like, just keep on moving forward, really hang in there, and once you really find something that you're passionate about, go for it. You never know like what's going to happen afterwards.
Did you find any coaches or adults who were able to help you hone in on your skills as a sports stacker before you left high school?
Um, I think it was mainly, well, obviously, like my dad helped me quite a bit, but I think it was mainly like myself that like that like kept on like moving, like pushing myself.
Hmm.
So
Your dad stopped what he was doing to help you with your sports stacking career.
yeah, yeah. He was a coach at a few tournaments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what did your brothers think about you sports stacking? Did they get back into it with you, or did they just kind of sit back? What was that like?
So my oldest brother didn't really get much into it as my other older brother. He's the middle child, but yeah. So my middle brother, he was pretty into it the first time that I started stacking as well, and so like he and I would like kind of compete. I think the only time that he competed in a tournament was when we were doing doubles, and so doubles is when like one person's the right hand, the other person's the left hand, and so you have to like use those hands to like do the cycle stack. And so we were at this tournament, I think in Attica in 2008, and we smacked down like a 8-second cycle. And the reason why it didn't count is because like the cameras were not on, and so they weren't able to like verify it, which was pretty upsetting.
Yeah. Wow, the cameras weren't on. And you guys, what now? You said that you were doing what type of stack was it?
It was a cycle stack, but for doubles.
Okay. So there's different types of stacking. Talk to me about the sport itself. What are the different types of stacks? What are the different games that you play within the sport?
So obviously, there's three official stacks. So one of them is called the 3-3-3, which is where you have three cups on each end, like one on your left hand side, one in the middle, one on the right hand side, and so you do a three on each, and then whatever side you start on, you have to go back to where you started. So you can't start in the middle, but you have to like start on one end or the other. And so the second is the 3-6-3,
Okay.
and that has the two threes on the side and the six in the middle. And so you have to like start on one of the threes. You can't start on the six, and you have to go back to where you started. And the last one, and this is called the hardest stack in the sport. It's called the cycle. And so it starts off with a 3-6-3, and then it transitions into a 6-6, and transitions into a 1-10-1. You have to flip one of the cups upside down, and that transitions back into a 3-6-3.
Can you say that last part again? You were breaking up.
Mm-hmm. So on the 1-10-1, one of the cups have to be upside down, and then you have to like take those two cups from the 10 stack and transition it back into a 3-6-3.
Okay. Who who started sports stacking? Do you know?
Um, huh. I forgot his name, but like I think the history was that I think his name is Wayne. Um, I think it started like in the 1980s when he was stacking some plastic cups. I'm not exactly sure what the brand was, but I think I remember correctly. If the story goes on, is that he was kind of like fooling around with like stacking some cups and whatnot, and he got the idea from it. It's like, wow, I can actually like make a hobby out of this. And then um, in the 90s, a gym teacher named Bob Fox introduced it to his students, and his daughter Emily Fox got the first world record back in 2002. It was like 7.43 seconds. But they all started in the 90s. Like,
wow.
yeah.
This has been around for the past 30 years. And some of us are just now, we are today years old finding out about the sport of sports stacking. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you have any idea how many sports stackers there are in the world?
Oh my gosh. I would say like from time to time. Are you talking about like right now?
I mean, first I want to know from time to like how many sports stackers would you say that there have been over the years?
Probably like millions upon millions.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like it's right now, like all over the world. Obviously, it started in the USA, but like there are teams like obviously in the USA, in Canada, in the UK, and in Brazil, in Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Germany, especially was actually a big one back in the 2000s. Let's see, China. There's a lot.
Africa?
I'm not sure if there was like a team in Africa. I think I'm trying to like Switzerland is another one. I think it's mainly like Asia, Europe, and North America for the most part, and some of South America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a show. We're talking to Dan Klein. We're learning today that there are millions of sports stackers, and I want to raise awareness about this. In the world we live in, right here in America, or even if you're in a different country around the world, there are opportunities, there are industries happening around you that you can discover. Your entire life can change if you sometimes look a little closer. Look at your world with more of a magnifying glass. You'll find entire waves of people. He said there are millions of stackers, millions of people doing things that maybe you've never heard of before. These things are happening right here in your country, in your state, in your city. So many cool things are out there about life. So many cool things are out there for us to get involved with, to get into and get better at, and really use as a catalyst for life, growth, and transformation. Period. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back after this break, so you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more from Dan Klein.
Yeah.
America's Next Motivator, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. America's Next Motivator, hosted by me, Cedric Riley, and sponsored by the Pride Empowerment Network. And we're back. Dan, how you feeling out there?
I'm doing fine. Two things I forgot to mention. So the first thing, the cycle world record is 4.753, and it is held by a kid in Malaysia named Chan Kang Ian. Malaysia is actually like a pretty big right now for sports stacking. In fact, at the 2021 World Sports Stacking Championships, when they were holding it online, Malaysia is like the biggest one with like 101 members, and the USA was like the second with 66. So, and the second thing, you asked about Africa. And so one of my good friends, William Polly, he actually, I believe, flew down to South Africa to film a cup stacking commercial for their product. It was like a drink product, not an alcoholic drink, but like some sort of beverage or soda.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, were you actually able to join Team USA?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did that feel, man? Like, get into that. Team USA, what does like is that a big deal? Talk to us.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty big deal. Because you're on Team USA, you're actually like on the team that's like one of the best, especially in the country, and that's a pretty good feeling. It almost makes me feel like hey, I belong somewhere. I am so I think it's very telling that I have this like passion because I was like so ambitious about it. It brought me to that team, and so I think
That's right.
that in of itself is a great feeling.
That's right. I don't I don't see where there is a higher level of competition in sports stacking than to be on Team USA. Am I missing something?
I I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you got into this activity and you stuck with it. You continue to make the sacrifice of practicing. How many hours of practice would you say you put in?
I think back then when I first started stacking, I put in like probably 2 to 3 hours of practice every day. But compared to now, I would say like probably about like an hour or like an hour and a half at the most
Would
part.
you would you say that you spent 10,000 hours stacking in your life so far?
Probably, I mean, if I did the math correctly, maybe a little bit more than that. So
Yeah,
probably like 10,000, 20,000, thousands of hours,
right,
thousands upon thousands of hours.
right, right. When you give that much of your life to something, you know, it does something to you,
Hmm.
mentally, psychologically. It rearranges your gears a little bit because now you're a sports stacker. You're not just Dan Klein anymore. You're Dan Klein, the sports stackers. You ever had dreams about stacking?
Occasionally, like I think back, but like I would say like before TikTok, when I was like kind of taking a break from a little bit of stacking, I would occasionally like get some dreams about like going to tournaments, and I would even say like during this pandemic, like I just have dreamed about like being like late to a tournament or whatever, and I kind of forgot like no, we're living in a pandemic, like
Right.
well, tournaments are definitely not a thing in the past for sure, and I would even say like after this pandemic is over, in fact, well, actually, in fact, now they're actually like reopening it this summer. But just kind of, I think it kind of like pulls on like memories of kind of being in tournaments like and when they were holding it at schools and whatnot. It kind of gave me I think like um, give me like a thought or like some memories when I was like sleeping. I guess if that makes any sense,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
yeah,
it makes sense. It
hmm
makes sense. Now, when the pandemic happened, did you have an event on the horizon? And how did the pandemic impact you as a sports stacker? How did it impact your team?
Well, I mean, I think for the most part, I was more so concerned about like whether or not my job would be okay. But I think like as far as stacking goes, they hold a thing called a stack match where that you can like record yourself online. You can pretty much you can like go as fast as you can and post your best time, and there are people that have to like judge you and watch your videos to see if it's like clean or if it's
Hmm.
a scratch.
Hmm.
So.
What's that mean? What's that mean?
So a scratch means that, for example, if I made a mistake, like what if one of the cups slides onto another cup and I don't fix that, that would be considered a scratch. So it's basically like me um, not fixing my mistakes. And so there's like three types of scratches. First one is a slider, like I said before. The second one is like the topple over, where like if I'm um, fishing up a stack like the cycle and the three stack like falls over, it like topples over and I don't fix that, that would be a scratch. Um, the third one is like when a cup, I forgot what it's called, but it's when I'm like stacking the cup, I'm like stacking the 6-stack, and like the top cup like falls over. I don't fix that. That would be a scratch, and so I have to fix all those fumbles in order for it to be clean.
So if you make a mistake while you're stacking in competition, you're able to correct it?
Yes. And if you don't correct it, they would scratch that.
Okay. So it's like a point deduction. Okay. Who are some of your favorite sports stackers out there right now?
I would say that the ones that I really looked up to were Emily Fox, Yannick Zitlaw, who was a German sports stacker. Now I really appreciate William Polly, William Morrell, Chan King Ian, Peter Ford, one of my good friends, Mike McCoy, one of my good friends. That's all that I can. Oh, the sports speed stacking girl, Rachel Nedro. She was the Oh My Gosh girl, who was featured on that Skrillex song.
Okay. Wow. Whoa. Okay. What is the barrier of entry for sports stacking? What would somebody have to do? What do they need to purchase? What types of gear do they need to purchase? And if somebody wanted to get involved in a sport, what would they do?
I think the only equipment that they need is like a set of cups and a mat and a timer. And if they're on like a team, let's say for example, me being on Team USA, I have to wear my Team USA uniform every time I go to a competition.
Okay. Are there a specific type of cups?
Yes, they are. So like, with the older design, they used to have like 3 holes on the top. So the reason why they have holes on the top is because they have to move through the air easier without them sticking. And now they have like a hole on the top, and that makes it even like faster.
Right. So. Right. Okay. Any other gear? You mentioned a timer, a mat. You said a mat. What's the name of the mat that goes with it?
It's called the stack mat.
Okay, stack mat. Got it. That's cool. So now once you got on Team USA and you actually went to a competition, walk us through that. What was that like?
Just like any old competition. Like, are you talking about like the World Championships?
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk World Championships.
I mean, I remember like I think my first World Championships was in 2008, and it was like at the Denver Coliseum, and they used to hold this like every single year. And I remember like walking in there, it was huge, and like they're in the stadium, there would be like the sound of cups just like flipping, flopping. It's almost like like sound of like horses like just running through, something like that.
Right.
It was really loud, and there would be like music playing, but it was so cool. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually finally here,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, talk to me about your sense of accomplishment, like being in that arena. Talk about the excitement, the adrenaline of being there like that, given all that you did to get to that place.
It's pretty hard to explain. I would say it's a great feeling. Like me being able to like travel like miles away into like this one area where they would like hold the sports stacking championships. It's like very surreal, I would say.
Yep, that's right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at a couple more of Dan's videos, and we're going to see if we can find some more of what he does out here. And you guys sit back because we're going to check out some more of his stacking. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull up another video. This is so cool to me, man. So cool. Okay, let's see what we got here.
I'm going to stack these cups under a second on this table. Just watch.
Yeah, there we go. New record.
Wow, is that less than a second?
That was less than a second. And my record right now is actually a 0.843.
You're at 0.843 now?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Is this a video of you stacking right here? No. Yep. This one here?
That one right there. Yep.
Let's check them out, y'all. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wow.
There we go, new record.
And that was clean, right?
Yep, that was.
Sheesh.
Thank you.
So when you're stacking like this, are you not thinking? Like, are you doing the opposite of thinking?
Yeah, I would say like the best strategy for me is to just really clear my mind and focus on the cups and focus on what I'm doing.
That's right. Check them out, y'all. .6 seconds. Wow. Hey, let's get some likes. Let's get some likes, some thumbs up, blow up the chat because to me, this is tremendous talent right here. This is tremendous talent. And those aren't Dixie cups. You telling me those aren't Dixie cups?
No, they're specially designed cups made by Speed Stacks.
Speed Stacks. Okay. Yeah. Fast cycle scratches.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So at the end you scratched.
Yeah.
And
so that one was clean. That one
was clean?
Yeah. I just had a fumble or a mess up in the middle.
Okay. Let's see. Let's check out a couple more. And then we'll get back to the conversation. You guys gotta forgive me because I'm very amused with this. So now you're stacking with short cups.
Yeah, those actually they came out last year around Christmas time, and so I got a set of mine at Christmas, and I wanted to try them out because I was seeing like some stackers on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube try them out. I was like, well, I'm gonna try these out.
Are they easier?
Not necessarily at first, but
okay.
I did get they're pretty quick to warm up to, I would say.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, his YouTube page is at Dan Klein. Go out there and support. Check out his videos and subscribe. Wow.
Yep, and that's a warm up. And so in the tournament they have 3 attempts for each set. So this is the first attempt.
So how many attempts was that? Was that your second attempt?
That was my first attempt. So
okay.
This is going to be my second attempt.
Okay, you cleaned it up.
Yep.
Try 3.
This is the best one.
Wow. So when you're stacking like that, are you almost you're in a zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in a zone, man. Now, what do you do? What do you do to decompress after you've been to an event, a big tournament like that, and you're stacking? What do you do to decompress, to calm down after that?
So I would say even like calm down before that, because I usually get pretty nervous at tournaments. And so the best thing that helps me is like kind of just breathe in and breathe out, and take it really slow, take a step back to just breathe and really collect my thoughts and focus on the cups when I'm stacking and clear my mind.
What do you see as the future of cup stacking? Where do you see the sport going?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because they released some new equipment with the Gen 5, and so with other previous generations, all you had to do was just put your hands on the timer. But now they've kind of like updated the equipment. So not only do you put your hands on, but they also have like thumb pads or like thumbprints to put your thumbs on. You have to start with that compared to the other one where you can just like use the side of your hand to kind of like cup, go around the cup to kind of like get a more faster time. And so it's more than likely going to slow times down. In fact, they're actually going to like restart it in September, like restart all the world records and whatnot. But I think the more that people actually like, go with it, I think it's actually going to be just fine. I think more and more kids are going to get interested in it, and there's going to be new world records going to be broken for the most part because it's being reset. But if this never came out, I would say like it would be almost impossible to beat the world records as they are now.
That's right.
But because with this new rule, there's going to be new records coming out, and there's going to be more stackers that are going to be going to come up in their prime.
For the young people out there who want to get involved with stacking, maybe even because of this episode of You on America's Next Motivator, what advice would you give to a beginning stacker?
So the advice that I would give them is to always fix your mistakes or your fumbles, keep breaking your records, keep practicing, always warm up, always improve your muscle memory, and just keep on going, just keep on stacking, keep on motivating yourself to break records and go to tournaments, meet friends, always talk to them and hang out with them, and you'll be set for your sports stacking career.
So now, when it comes to muscle memory, what do you do to strengthen your mind? Do you do anything outside of stacking to strengthen your mind?
I would say like lifting weights and working out, exercising. That actually really helps a lot with my mind, especially. Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself an athlete?
For the most part, I would consider myself an athlete in the stacking
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I definitely consider you an athlete, and I think I mean, I know that the sport's been around for 30 years or so, but I still see you as a pioneer in the sport. The sport is still growing, it's still changing. They're still modifying the equipment, and the sport is still growing. And here you are, a part of the growth of the sport, and you're on Team USA, and so, to me, you're a pioneer of sports stacking, and I think that that's super cool. Do you ever see a time where we might get a sports stacking video game?
I mean, I think I remember correctly. There was like an app somewhere where you can just like put your hands on like your thumbs or whatever on the timer. You can just fingers are going, and like you have to like stack the cups on the screen pretty much. Oh, one more stacker that I forgot to mention. He has held like over 20 world records. His name is Stephen Peruganon, and I remember very specifically when I first saw his video on YouTube, and I was like the very first person to ever like and comment on his video, and he was like stacking a 6.95, and at the time in 2007, that was like the fastest on the web. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this like sped up? Or I was like, no, it doesn't even look that sped up if you really look at it. I'm like, this kid's like gonna go places. And so like I just saw him, and I first met him at Attica in October 2007. He was like one of the coolest people, and I'm like Facebook friends with him to this day. So
wow. You said something. Go ahead.
Yep. And I saw like two of his world records in person. The first one was like the Attica tournament. He got a 723 in the cycle, and then at the 2008 World Sports Stacking Championships, he got like a 1.88 in the 333, a 2.3 something, I think a 2.30 in the 363, and a 621 in the cycle. And he was at the Stack of Champions. So doing that.
I like how you're also a fan of the sport. I think that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. What do you say to other stackers out there who are looking forward to the competitions post COVID? What do you say to those guys and girls?
I would say like keep on doing what you do best as far as stacking goes. Like I said, keep on practicing, keep on beating your records, and you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great.
What's the relationship between stacking and sponsorship? Is there sponsorship in the field of stacking?
I think if you are good enough and you go big enough, you can have sponsors like kind of contact you and ask you if they can like advertise you on their platform. So I would say, like, for me, I would say the sponsors are more so through like social media, as to where like a lot of these like meme pages on Instagram were contacting me, and they were asking me like, hey, can we use your TikTok or your Instagram videos on ours? And I was like, yeah, you can definitely do that. So
Right. Talk to me about social media, the role that it's played for you in growing your audience and growing your portfolio.
Mm-hmm. So I first started on YouTube in 2007, and I started posting videos there, and then I posted more videos in 2010, and trying to beat my records and whatnot. And it wasn't until like a decade later when I joined TikTok. And so when I first started TikTok, I wasn't going all that big because I wasn't like posting as much. But then in June of last year, I started like posting more and more, because I started seeing some of my stacker friends go viral on there, and I was like, let me see if I can go viral on here. And I wasn't really intending to go viral first, but then I was like, maybe I can actually like put myself out more on TikTok. And so around the summer in July, I started to see my videos just grow in like views and likes. I'm like very surprised, and so the rest is really just history from there. And so it got to me where I am now. And in fact, like, my TikTok videos actually made me grow more on Instagram. So
okay, how many views are you garnering on TikTok?
Averaging around like as low as like 3,000 to as like big as like my most viral video as of 2021 has 4 million views with 600,000 likes.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you see a time where you'll be able to convert some of those likes and some of that positive attention into an actual fan base for you? Where's the Dan Klein fan base, fan base or fan group? Or
I mean, I think it really depends on the day, when I post a video on TikTok, because TikTok is kind of weird. Sometimes like you'll get a video to go really viral, and then you'll get a video that doesn't do well. But I think like with the fan base that I have, I would say it's pretty loyal, even if it is like not as big. But I'm glad to have people that would actually like tune in to watch my videos and like them and comment on them and share them to their own friends. And I would go live on TikTok, and people would just like share the live and be like, oh my gosh, I really like your talent. I think you have like better talent than Charlie D'Amelio.
right. Hey, I'm a fan already, man. I think that I see that you have a great talent. What you do obviously takes hours and hours of practice. You're a pro at it. You're going viral. You're getting millions of views. Kimberly Raff is in the building. She says quality, not quantity. That's right. The people who appreciate what you do are many. I'd love to see more fanfare around what you're doing. More people getting to know sports stacking, getting their children involved in sports stacking. I was saying, Kimberly, she's in the building. I was saying, how cool would it be if more youth in the system got acquainted with sports stacking and how much value it could add to their lives and what they could actually add to the industry. I think it's a hidden gem in our society. So definitely, I'm one more fan. Hopefully the people watching our episode tonight is another fan for you. And I'm wishing you much massive success in the future. I'm gonna actually look for you. I'm gonna look for you on TikTok as well. I'm not on TikTok right now, but I'm gonna check you out over there on TikTok and Where else? I'll subscribe to your YouTube channel as well. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to his YouTube channel. Find him on TikTok because this man has the goods. Kimberly Raff says, yes, that's how I'm thinking. This guy's great. All right.
Yep. Let me before we go, let me tell you my Instagram and TikTok handle. So it's
all right, go ahead. Yep.
Man Klein. So it's all one word. It's Dan the Man and then Klein, Klein. And so you'll find me there. Dan the Man Klein? Yep.
Okay, on TikTok.
Yep, TikTok and Instagram.
Okay. We got 20 seconds left in the show. I got 3 questions for you in 20 seconds. I need you to answer them as quickly as you stack.
Okay.
The first question, what is survival to you?
Survival to me is kind of like looking after yourself and, getting the resources that you need to kind of provide for yourself with those.
Mm-hmm. That's right. What is success to you?
Success is, success is like building upon your accomplishments and your achievements and kind of, yeah.
What is greatness to you?
Greatness is, kind of like same thing with success is like kind of building on your skills and your, the things that you're good at and, really trying to like hone in on those to kind of reach your own success.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, get your crying emojis ready. Dan Klein, I want to let you know we've listened to your story today. I'm so enthused at what you do, your talent, your profession. I love it. We love it. You'll always have a home here on America's Next Motivator. We're giving you your respect today while you're here, giving you respect today. And we're giving you a crown today while you're still here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, put your crown emojis into the chat. Put your crown emojis into the chat. Put your crown emojis into the chat. We are letting you know, Dan Klein, that you are America's Next Motivator.
That's right.
Yep. Thanks for stopping by today, all right?
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later, dude.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Each and every episode of America's Next Motivator is going to have something here for you. All you've got to do, stop by and pick it up.